Right. Good morning, Joe. This is a 1973 Telecaster. The serial number is 385217. I was lucky enough to pick this up off an old friend. It needs a bit of work to it. It had been refretted in the 80s. There's no fret weight with it, so there's no marks or dings on it, but it was refretted a long time ago. Take the bridge off. So as far as I'm aware, this pickup has been changed, but I've got the original pickup, which is going to be repaired by Curly Oak Pickups. My friend Simon Bond, he's top man, he's going to do that for me. This is the original pickup in the bridge. The electrics, for what I can see, is all original. The soldering is pretty bad, man. I gotta say it. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and salvage the switch and the pots. The pots, I'm trying to see the date on them. So from what I can see by here, both pots are dated 72/48. So that's 1972, the 48th week. My memory serves me well. So I'm going to strip all this down and resolder it. I'm going to use the same cables, just clean it all up. To be honest though, it's a bit oily. I don't know whether somebody at some point sprayed it with some sort of cleaning fluid, but the switch is not too bad to clean up. So that's that. Got to be done. The input jack, looks original, but the retaining ring is not. This is the original one. It's almost like a nickel. So I will be taking that one off and putting that on. They're held on with this with a spring, which are potchy to change, but I have got a tool for doing it. So under the scratch plate, this is original. So, and there you are, look at that. So there's the sunburst. 3-tone sunburst. It was down as far as here, and it would have come down around there a lot more. All this red have faded away, which is a common thing. Look how lovely and bright that is. You can't fake that, huh? That's how it is. Neck wise, like I said, it would have been refretted, but I'm going to have a little look of it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a fret dress and a level. The nut is original, but probably sometime or other when they did the refret, the nut, there was a bit of a problem with the nut, and they've shimmed it. They've put a thin piece of wood, about half a mil I would have thought, underneath the nut. It's curved, the bottom, so I'd like to try and keep the original nut if I can. If I can't, I'll make a new bone one. So I'll just take that off. The machiners are all original. Same with the strap locks. So for the time being, all we got to do is try and get the electrics working. Get the pickup in there that I've had off Simon now, and wire that up. and I'm going to service these pots and the switch because they are working a little bit crackly, and we'll get some strings on it and see how it play. And before I decide what I'm going to do, if I'm not happy with the refret that have been done to it, I'll redo it. It's got plenty of wear on the guitar. It's got lots of character, ashtray bridge, so on. So it's a lovely thing. It's a proper working guitar. So I'll start stripping it down now and getting the pickups in and servicing the pots, and then we'll give it a try then and see what I'm going to do about the neck. So across the pot it's reading 1 meg, it's a 1 meg pot. From the wiper to the other end of the pot it's reading 1 meg. If I turn the pot down it's reading 900. Okay, 30k now there because I'm nearly at 0. Come back a little bit. That's 500, halfway. So I'm just going to give that a little squirt with some switch cleaner, and that's ready to go back. That's the tone pot. Same thing now with the volume. Clean it up. That's just a little bit of cleaning solution that I've put in a blunt end syringe. All the brown stuff is the flux that they used to use back in the day when I was apprentice. This is, you know, you put this brown sticky stuff on, get the solder to flow. Long before resin core solder. And now it's all lead free solder. So I'm just using a circuit board eraser for cleaning. Great for cleaning this sort of stuff. Here's a 0.001 microfarad capacitor across the wiper. I suppose it's a little bit like a treble bleed type thing. To be honest with you, I'm tempted to change the cables. I'm just trying to keep everything as original as possible. I don't know whether I'm barking up the wrong tree by doing this. I'm making it hard for myself. So fingers crossed. Now let's have a look at this. But we have got the capacitor across it. So what we want now, we want from there to there, we want to read up 1 meg, and it's great. Across here to here, we want that to be 1 meg, which it is. Turn the volume down now. $800K, 600. This is like a head cleaner. Remember when we used to have VHS and Betamax and tape decks? Well, that's what that is. I don't know, it's about, I think that bottle is about 40 years old. it evaporates almost immediately. It's alcohol it is. Right, switch next now. To be honest though, I think I'm going to leave the switch on here because it's easier for me to hold. So this little black jumper, taking the heart from one side of the switch to the other, is the only cable that I'm changing because it was poor. So what I've renewed it with is with a little bit of 40 amp fuse wire to use as a jumper. I'm also going to run in some additional earths. I know it's not necessary because the pots are earthed through the plate, but I don't particularly like it. I still like to put a jumper in from one to the other and to the bridge as well, even though there's no need to it because of the screws off the bottom of the pickup. I still like to ground the bridge, so that's what we're going to be doing. So this capacitor's got 20% tolerance at 100 volts and it is a 0.05 microfarad. I don't know whether you can see this, but these pots, these chrome pots, they're in a pretty bad state there, to be honest with you. But I just don't want to change them if I can help it. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if any of you got an ultrasonic cleaner, but I'm going to drop these in the ultrasonic cleaner and see all this gunk that's in here. It's just sweat and skin and God knows what. I'm going to drop them in my ultrasonic cleaner and see how they come out. I just hope it don't take any of the chrome that's on the plating off, but I don't think so. Right, so I'll set all that up now and you'll see that happening. It'll take about 15 minutes. So this is my ultrasonic cleaner. I think I used it on the restoration of the 79 Strat. So the concoction, you can buy the correct chemicals to go in here if you want, which I have got some, but I like. Well, this is not baking, so your measurements haven't got to be accurate. It's a bit like Chinese cooking. Soapy water and so some bicarbonate of soda. And drop these in. Lid on. And put the timer on 15 minutes. And see how we're looking, and I'll come to you in the meantime. They're a lot better than when They came, when they went in there, all the screws in there, they're all cleaned up lovely. Anyway, have a look at this. That's all the muck that comes off. It's surprising actually how much it is. Right, let's get rid of that out of the way. So the next thing I want to do now is get the jack plug out. Now this retaining ring is held in by a spring clip. There it is there. Now they can be a bit of a pain, but I've got a tool for extracting them and installing them. So we'll endeavour to try and use it. Oh, that's the original jack, that is. So that'll be cleaned up. So what I've happened here is, at some point or other, the jack will come loose and the clip are gone. Now, I can see, I'm going to have to show you this. So I don't know whether you can see this, but that's the clip that's in there, and it's in there solid. I'm not sure whether they've put a bit of glue in it to try and glue it in place, but that's what the clip should look like. So I'm going to have to leave that as it is, but it's okay, it's there firmly, so it's not going to cause me no problems. I'll just install the right ring. Right, next thing now, let's install the original pickup back in there. These look like the original fixing screws and springs. So I don't know what pickup this is that came out of it. It looks like a Squire pickup to me, to be honest there. Could possibly be a Mexican, but not with that bar magnet on the bottom, I don't think. But let me know in the comments if you know. You know, it's no good anyway. There's no quality in that, I don't think. Alright, so this is the original pickup now. The 1973 pickup going back in, which was open circuit, and it's been repaired by my friend at Curio Pickups, Simon Bond. Gentleman of a bloke. If you need any pickup work done, anywhere in the country or especially South Wales, he's the man to go and see. Very, very helpful. You've come up to see me a few times now. A gentleman. So this has been lacquer coated. Doesn't mean potted or nothing like that. Right, here we go. So all I'm really doing with this wire, and it's not being rewired, it's just that I've disconnected it all and redone all the connections, because they had been done, or had a bit of work at some point or other. You can tell with this old solder mind the melting point is much higher, because this iron that I'm using is about 40 watts, and it's, you know, it's a powerful iron, but with the old connections on the back of the pot, you don't have to take a bit of melting. So that's the last connection there now. Not the neatest, I will be honest, because it's the amount of solder that was on the back of the pots in the first place, but the connections are much better now. Just have a little quick look at the neck, the shape of it. I think there's a little bit too much relief in it. So I'll straighten that out, put some strings on and have a little play of it. Before I decide what I'm doing with the frets, am I going to stone them, salvage what's on here, or am I going to change them? But in the meantime, I'm going to whip the neck off, adjust the neck, and have a look to see what information is in the neck socket. So, this is interesting. There is a date there, but I can't quite make it out. So, it's got David P on it. So David P worked on this guitar. I got a funny feeling he's who made the neck. And on the body, stronger glasses are on. Gary. And that's, I've never seen that before. So with this guitar now, I'll have to show this because I think it's interesting. By here there's an hole. Now normally they route down through or drill it out, but I've never seen a Fender guitar that have drilled from the neck cavity down through from the neck pickup down to the electrics cavity. Now when I'm making a guitar, people who've watched my channel, they've seen me doing it loads of times. I drill through here. This has been taken out by you. This is to adjust the truss rod. So I drill down through here and into this cavity, and then I can get down into the electric cavity. But I've never seen that before on any Fender. It's not a new hole, it's an old hole. It's from when the guitar was built. Just put this to one side now, and let's have a look at the neck. On the neck plate it says 385217, and I have looked at that and that's 1973. But on the neck, this is the first time I've had this off, I think. I don't think I've done it before. On the neck it's saying 13032853. So I'll look them up after and I'll get back to you on what they mean. So Have a little look on the internet. Anyway, so since I worked on this guitar last, I give the frets a quick dress and polish, put it in the body of the guitar and put some strings on it to see how it plays, and I'm just not happy with it. It plays okay. I'm not keen on the look and the feel of it, to be honest. Though, this guitar was refretted in late 80s, early 90s, and it's not a very good job, if I'm perfectly honest. In fact, it's a terrible job. And they've put a large fret in there. So what I've decided now, I'm gonna refret this guitar and put the Fender fret wire back in there. The wire I'm going to use is from Stu McDonald, and it's the 148. It's a medium guitar fret wire, popular on many of the Fenders. Now, since taking the neck off, I've said before that the person who made this guitar, or worked on this neck anyway, it's called David P. The body is by a guy called Gary, and they named him. They don't do that nowadays. There is some stamping marks by you, which I can't see, but it doesn't matter, because on the back of the neck by you, there it is, 8 numbers, and it's 1303 2833. Now, or 53. It's hard to see, to be honest with you. So I'm going to bring it up to you. Not sure if you can see that or not. But these numbers mean something, obviously. What they mean is, the 13 means it's a regular Telecaster, which is what we would say a standard nowadays, I suppose. The 03 means that it's a maple neck, not a rosewood. The 28 is the 28th week of the year that it was made. The 5 is the year, right? Or it's the 3, whatever it is, I'm not quite so sure, so it'll be 1973. And the 3 is the 3rd day of the week, and the days of the week go from a Monday to a Wednesday. So this guitar is a regular Telecaster with a maple neck, built in 1973 on the 28th week of the 3rd day, which is a Wednesday, because it goes from Monday to Friday. So that's how you did that. Now the truss of the neck is all working great. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start refretting it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of heat on each fret. But before I do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all these machine heads off, because for 2 reasons. One, the neck will sit tidy on the workbench when I'm installing the frets. They're not going to get in my way. And also, this one, you see me do earlier on, it was a bit tight, so I put some penetrating oil in it and made a big difference. Now I've got a couple of others, and the B string one is the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all these apart, and I'm going to service these as well. So I won't be saying a lot now, and I'm just going to start taking the frets out and preparing it for a refret. So I'll catch you in a bit.